Hello, families. This is Jeff McClellan with Tsunami Volleyball. This is the information session specifically for people who have played club before and are looking at the 15s through 18s age groups. Now, if this is your first time playing club, you probably want to watch the video that is a little bit longer and a little bit more detailed. It's also available. So this slide and the next couple of slides are just indications of what we do as a club. This is a class of 2022. For those of you guys who can remember, that is COVID year. These are fifth year seniors that we're competing against for playing time. So the fact that we had one team and those athletes all committed to play at those places is a pretty good indication of the work that we're doing in our recruiting program. So the next couple of slides are just what we've done over the past few years. And you can see that there's everything from the very, very top Division I schools all the way to Division II, Division III, NAIA, JUCO, HBCU. So there's a little bit of everything in our program, and we have a wide reach with colleges. As we scroll through the remaining slides, I want you to notice two things. Number one is that we've been doing this a long time. We've got 20 years of recruiting. We're just showing the last 5 or 6 years just because it's a good snapshot of what we've been doing recently. So you'll see Emory University, you'll see Georgia Tech, you'll see KSU, Georgia State, West Georgia, Georgia Southern. You'll see all of the Georgia schools represented here. We've also had kids go to Alabama and Auburn, and so we've hit the gambit of all of what would be considered the regional local schools. And you'll also see the top programs in the country. We've sent kids to, within the last 4 or 5 years, Penn State, Notre Dame, again, Georgia Tech, we've sent 3 or 4 kids there. Louisville, Boston College. We currently have a 6 rotation outside at Baylor, which is, one of the top 10 schools as we speak. So our athletes are going to play. They're getting recruited well. We have a ton of interest in our kids. And that's one of the biggest things. This is one of the things that we do best as a club is help our athletes find the right fit for them. For our recruiting age athletes, we have a complete recruiting program. We're signing a contract with Sports Recruits, which you'll get some more information on that as far as what they can offer us. But we also have a program that we've been doing for the last 20 years that has had tremendous success. We're going to combine those two programs to get what is best for our athletes. We've also hired Amy Held, who is on staff at Kennesaw State University. She will be our recruiting director for our locations. So you're going to get an in-person, you're going to get a program we've been doing for 20 years, and you're going to get the benefit of an outside program that's going to come in and help. And so all of our elite and national kids are automatically in our recruiting program, those that want to play collegiately. Then our premier kids have the opportunity to participate. They've got to do a little more work because it's not part of that program, but they can also participate as well. So this is the thing that we do better than anybody else, and I will stand on the mountaintop and say it. Our recruiting program works, and we're going to ask a ton from you in terms of work that you need to do, but we're also going to do a ton of work for you. So if you're looking at playing collegiately, this is absolutely, without a doubt, a great place for you to have that opportunity. I'm going to let these next 4 or 5 slides scroll through. By this point, you should know that we have 5 locations: Central Georgia, Cobb, we're out of Kennesaw, downtown, we're calling it North Atlanta, but it's out of the Brookhaven area, our Rome location, and then our facility down south in Forest Park. So 5 locations. At 15s through 18s, most of you guys know this already, but you can compete at the age that you are on July 1st of next year. So on July 1st of 2023, however old you are, you can compete in that age division. If you're 15, you can compete in the 15 and under age division. Now, last year before that, they came out with a couple of things that are important to know. They backed it up to July 1st instead of September. And then they put in a 17s waiver. So here's what those two things mean. If you are a July to September birthday, what we recommend is if you want to play collegiately, if you want to play at a high level, if you want to continue training in that way, then you need to play for your graduating class. If you are just playing to stay in shape and to make your high school team, and to get out of the house and to be good and train at a high level, then you should play down in your birthday age groups. That's if you're that July to September. If you can play down, play down if you're not wanting to compete collegiately. If you want to compete collegiately, you need to play your graduating class. So I know we have that conversation every year. And the second part of this is if you are a senior that is 18, if you are a junior that is 18, in the past you had to play 18s twice. Now you are given a waiver that you can play 17s twice instead of playing 18s twice. They're doing it for recruiting, so it is possible if you are an 18-year-old in your junior season, I may have said that wrong earlier, but if you're an 18-year-old in your junior season, you actually can play 17s. So it is a waiver, and you'll need to have a conversation with me, and we'll go through the process of figuring that out. But those two things are pretty important that you might not know right now. For those of you who have been with us before, our elite level is the same. For those of you that are new, these are our top competitive teams. We're going to put the most of everything in. They're going to travel the furthest. We're going to play at the highest level. These guys are typically top 4 or 5 teams in the region at every age group. So these are our top, and the very last sentence is pretty important here. You can't read it, but it says playing time at the elite level is not guaranteed. We guarantee practice time. We're not guaranteeing playing time at this level because we are playing to win at this level of competition. So super important that you guys know that going in. This one is new for us. This is our national level. And what we mean by that is these are the athletes that want to train at the elite level, but they don't want to travel quite as much. So at 15s through 18s, these guys are all going to do 2 qualifiers, which will be Big South and Orlando, whereas the elite level will do Big South plus 2 additional, which may or may not be Orlando. So anyway, so this is a little bit less expensive. It's the same level of tournaments. We're still competing at a high level. We're still trying to find the best competition. We're just not traveling quite as much. Our premier teams are our regional teams. This is what most other clubs call their national teams or their one teams. I didn't say it on the national slide. Playing time is not guaranteed at the national level. It is practice time again is guaranteed, but not playing time. At the premier level, we say that playing time is fair but not equal. And what that means is that during pool play, we're going to pretty much play everybody. And then when we get to bracket play, we're going to play to win. So there's a little bit of a reward for being the better at your position on these teams. But at the same time, we're going to give everybody the chance to compete. Our ATL teams are exactly what they sound like. ATL for Atlanta. These guys are going to compete locally only. And at the ATL level, playing time is as equal as possible. Obviously, if there's only one setter, that one setter is going to play more than everybody else. But we try to make playing time as equal as possible at the ATL level. Our select level for right now is only offered at our Cobb location, and that is an in-house league play at South. We're going to incorporate some of our what has been our High Tide. It's now our Volley Skills program. We're going to incorporate some of those teams competing in the Select league, but Select is our in-house league at our Cobb location right now. If you're seeing this, you've probably already registered for tryouts, but if not, please go ahead and do so. Tryout registration is open. The only thing that's important on here is that you understand that attend. On day one, we're going to pick as many teams as we can from our elite and national programs, and our premier is a one day. So if you want to play for us, you need to attend day one. It is super important. If we are your second or third choice, then you go try out somewhere else. And if you get what you want, you stay there. And then if you don't get what you want, pick up the phone and call us, and we'll see what we have available. But anyway, go ahead and register for tryouts right away. So we always get asked the question, what level should I try out? You want to try out at whatever the highest level you think you might want to play. So if you are thinking you want to play at the national level, but I'd play at the elite level if I made the team, then you should try out for an elite team. The worst thing that's going to happen is that we move you down to national. If you don't make it to national, we'll move you down to premier. And if you don't make it to premier, we'll move you down to ATL. So, but trying out for elite does not guarantee you a spot on any of the others. You still have to earn it. And there are kids who come out only for certain levels. So that being said, rarely do we move a kid from a lower division up. So if you want to make a higher team, I would try out for the higher level if you possibly could. You only have to register one time, so if you don't make the Elite or National team, you don't have to re-register for Premier or re-register for ATL, so you're good there. And then we will tell you that day, 9 times out of 10, where you stand with, or 99 times out of 100, where you stand with us. You're either going to be offered a team or invited back to a secondary tryout, or we'll tell you we don't have a place for you. So we don't let you leave the gym without knowing what is going on. As far as the best way to give yourself the best chance to make a team, get in the gym early. Do not wait till the last minute. Now, if some of you watching this video may be at the last minute, go to the website and find what's there. There are times to get in the gym right up until the last minute. So make sure you can jump on that. For our veterans, our travel is not going to change. For those of you guys at Cobb, this is new for you. Our athletes, we want them staying with their families. So when you travel, you're going to stay with your family. We will book as a club. We will book a block of rooms, and then you guys can call and accept that block. And put your credit card down and reserve your room for that. But if you choose to stay somewhere else, you can. We do not mandate where you and your family have to stay. We've got some camper families and some Motel 6 families and some Ritz families, and that's great. We love all of them. We will book a good middle-of-the-road hotel for our families, and most of the time our families will stay there. But we do not, your travel is not included in your tuition. Now, the only exception to that are stay-to-play events, which are 99 times out of 100 your top-level tournaments. Those are your national qualifiers, and some of your national level events. Those guys dictate where we have to stay, and there's nothing we can do about it. But we will tell you about those tournaments beforehand so that you don't just go into that blindly. All right, so I'm going to let the next 3 or 4 slides slide through. It's all the season fees, but here are a couple of things that you need to know. The number that you're looking at on the next few slides, that's everything that you would pay to Tsunami. It includes your tuition, it includes tournament registration, it includes uniforms, it includes any coaches travel and coaches pay, and everything you would pay to Tsunami. You can budget based on that number. That's the only money that you will owe to Tsunami. So, like I said, no coaching fees, no anything extra. Now, notice that at 13s through 18s elite and 15 through 18 national, that number includes nationals in June and July, depending on whether you go to USAV nationals or AAU nationals. So you'll see a jump in price for 13 elite through 18 elite and 15 national through 18 national, because our expectation is those teams want to compete at the highest level, and going to nationals is part of that competing. We do have payment plans available. We'll go over that as you make teams, and you're welcome to email us and ask us about those if that is important. But 99% of the people, we set it up over 5, 6, 7 payments between now and the end of your season. All right, so one last thing as we go through this, where you see this is Cobb. So at Cobb, 10 elite is $700. You'll notice there's no other, there's no national, there's no premier, there's no ATL. 10s, it's all the same schedule. 11s, there's very, very little difference between the schedules, so we don't have 4 different levels. 12s gets a little bit more varied, but again, there's no reason for 3 different levels because there aren't that many tournaments. Once we hit 13s, that's when you start to see all the different levels and all the different pricing. And then as you get to 17s, you'll recognize that we drop the local divisions for our Cobb location. So there's no ATL for there. And then there's no 18 national. You'll see there's just Premier and Elite because the tournament schedule is not varied enough. So where you see no blanks on these next screens, that means there's no level offered at that age group or that level because there's no need for it. For 99% of you guys, the practice schedule and the tournament schedule are already on our website. So if you go to Teams, South, 12 Jeff, or 12-1 Elite, and then it opens up, it says 12 Jeff, you'll see my practice schedule Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, and then you'll see my tournament schedule underneath there. Now, there is a little bit of room for movement as the older teams are made, but very, very little. We should be 90% or more set with the practice schedules and the tournament schedules that are online. So for Rome and Central Georgia, you guys, your practice schedules are a little bit more varied. And so EJ and Matt will reach out to you guys with what those are going to look like. But your tournament schedule should be on there. And that is, like I said, 95% correct. Here are a few important dates. We're going to be sending out emails quickly with more. There are some things going on during the holidays. There'll be a camp during the Thanksgiving holidays. There'll be a boot camp during the between Christmas and New Year's. That'll be optional for the team. So there's a lot going on in addition to this, but these are some of the important dates leading up to the beginning of the season. It's pretty important that you follow us on social media. We put out a ton of information through our Instagram, such as open gyms. And when we make changes, we'll email, we'll have team communication apps, but we also we like to brag about our athletes. We do that on our social media. So if you have a chance, follow us. Here they are. Go like us, go whatever it is that you're supposed to do for whichever social media, but go follow us, please. I know we've been kind of throwing this information out there real quick because we wanted to tailor this one to 15s through 18s, but here's all the contact information for our locations. Heather is our overall admin, Tsunami Mommy Superstar. You can reach her at info@tsunamivolleyball.com. Amanda is our admin person at our Cobb location. And then Matt and EJ are our directors at Central Georgia and Rome. Dustin is one of our coaches and our North Atlanta director. And then I'm Jeff. And then this is our phone number for the club office. But if you need us, call us, email us, ask questions. Please give us the opportunity to make sure we can answer everything that you need. I appreciate you guys watching. I look forward to seeing you guys at tryouts. Hello, families. This is Jeff McClellan with Tsunami Volleyball. This is the information session specifically for people who have played club before and are looking at the 15s through 18s age groups.